you are simply, in my opinion, victim to creators pushing misinformation on you and prying and preying on your insecurities for their own personal gain, which in this case is probably going to be monetary value. So we're here to cause a bit of a ruckus today. Oftentimes in my videos, I critique the workouts and talk about maybe the movement selection, maybe the movement patterns, and how you could potentially better improve said movement patterns to benefit your own training. But I think in addition to that, it's probably worth talking about something that probably isn't discussed, which is quite frankly misinformation online. We're using this video as the example, which is a 10-minute back fat workout, number 1 there, toned back muscles, number 2, get rid of back fat and bra bulge, number 3. So we're going to go through the workout. I'm going to talk to you about the problems I'm noticing here and also give a little bit of movement selection and movement execution advice to hopefully better your training. Before we do so, got a set TFNL clothing, link down below in the description. Why wouldn't you want it? I could probably think of a lot of reasons, I'm not gonna lie. Number 2, if any point throughout this entire video you even just learned something from the video, or even maybe agree with what I'm saying, I would very much appreciate it if you did subscribe to the channel, because it does mean a lot, and YouTube, quite frankly, doesn't love me. And we need to let YouTube know I'm worth loving. Bit by bit, misinformation. So firstly, back fat workout. No, you cannot spot reduce fat. Someone's gonna come to me and say, Harry, there's one study that said you could. Give me more than that. I need more evidence of that. Spot reduction of fat essentially means that you can essentially target the area in which you're hoping to lose fat. For example, spot reducing back fat here would be doing back movements that would encourage fat loss in that area. That's not true. That is strictly misinformation, and that is a myth that has floated around the industry for so long, and in this case is being used to drive you towards this workout because people are going to have insecurities about said bra bulge or said back fat, where they're going to look for advice or look for a way to address and hopefully overcome said insecurities by addressing the issue, and they're going to look for back fat workouts that target their problem area or their insecure area. They'll stumble across a video like this, think this is going to be the fix to all their problems, when in reality it's not. Someone's going to comment, oh but Harry, I lost back fat doing a workout like this. That's not why you lost the back fat. This workout in particular is not why you lost back fat. You probably lost back fat because you're more active than usual, which means you're burning more calories, thus potentially helping you get into caloric deficit, thus helping you lose fat. Where you lose fat is going to be genetic. You cannot dictate where you lose fat first, where you lose fat last, where you gain fat first, where you gain fat last. It is genetic, and the workouts you choose to do will not change that. One of the biggest issues I find about workouts like this and that kind of spreading of misinformation is the movements selected are usually actually really ineffective. Movements like this are really not going to target the areas you're hoping they would target. In addition to that, they're not going to provide any real stimulus for change. So when you are doing a movement that encourages range of motion, rowing motions, retraction motions, whatever it may be, you're looking for a stimulus that is going to cause adaptation to occur, which in turn will hopefully help you develop that muscle, which kind of goes into the misinformation number 2, which is tone muscle. So tone muscle, strictly speaking, was initially kind of presented to a lot of people as the state of constant tension, which doesn't exist. The terminology isn't strictly speaking technically true. What it is actually kind of led to mean these days is maybe more defined. And again, that kind of goes into the back fat issue, because you can't do workouts to tone certain muscles. In reality, what would actually lead to more definition in certain areas is going to be a calorie deficit, because you get leaner, less body fat means more muscle definition. Pair that with more muscle growth, you're going to have that more desired toned look. Workouts like this are not going to promote that. Workouts in which you are going through a range of motion, which I respect, range of motion is good, against no resistance, with no intensity, will not cause sufficient stimulus for any kind of significant growth, especially over a long period of time. Genuinely, what you really need to do, and so many people say, no, I don't want to do it because I don't want to get big and bulky, is lift weights in some capacity. If you're looking at developing your back muscles, you should resistance train in a capacity. Free weights, machines, even pull-ups and bits and bobs at home. You can do plenty of things. And then, like I said, the argument jumps to, I don't want to get too bulky. It's not going to happen. I don't want to get too big. Trust me, I've been trying for years, over 10 years, and I'm still not getting there. It's not as easy as you think it is. What's almost more frustrating is the fact that even in the description, you would almost expect some kind of explanation or disclaimer to be given. But it actually says, this upper body workout targets your entire back muscles, shoulders and arms. I'm not saying that yet. It'll help you tone your back and lose back fat, get rid of bra bulge and fix your posture. Posture is another thing we're going to address. Posture is actually largely down to 2 things. Not entirely, but largely. Number 1, genetics. Posture is heavily genetic. Number 2, habit. My posture improved when I thought about improving my posture. Lifting weights didn't make that significantly better. I just thought, you know what, I should probably stand up a bit straighter because I was slouching like a grumpy teenager, because I was a grumpy teenager. As always, link down below, we've got a few things. We've got the link to the TFNL coaching applications where you can apply to work with myself on a one-to-one basis where I can coach you towards your goals online, whatever they may be and wherever you may be in the world. You also got the link to the TFNL team training, which for less than $1 a day, you can follow a home workout program or a gym workout program that I've created for you and the team. You also got the link to the TFNL workout guides, which tell you what to do, show you how to do it, and tell you why you should be doing it as well. And of course, you've got the TFNL clothing. All of those things are linked down below in the description if any of them tickle your pickle. And the thing is, when you're doing movements like this, if there was resistance involved in either direction, that's actually a solid movement. Resistance going up is a shoulder press, fantastic movement. Resistance going down is a lats pull down, fantastic movement as well. But there's no resistance there. You can do this all you want, and sure, your shoulders will burn, but what does that mean? Does that mean you're causing adaptation to occur, which is in turn going to help you develop your muscles? No. For adaptation to occur, you have to make it occur. It's not going to occur on its own. And I typically say the two best ways of doing that is either lift more weight, so more weight than nothing is progressive overload, or do more reps, but within reason. If you're doing 1,000 reps, I'd probably add some weight into it and kind of peak about 30, although I do prefer lower rep ranges, quite frankly, for psychological fatigue. Because when I do high rep ranges, I get halfway and I think I cannot be bothered anymore. So I'd actually rather do a lower reps because mentally it's a lot easier for me. But then you look at movements like this and you think, what is this going to achieve? And it's frustrating because so many of these workouts do really well online. For example, this workout, March of this year, 1.1 million views. Nothing about this workout is going to be progressive. Nothing about this workout is going to lead to long-term sustainable results. In fairness, I will give the workout something, is that regardless of what it is, I would always say some movement is better than nothing. For example, if you have lived a very inactive lifestyle, you've done no activity, you've spent a lot of your time sitting down, or potentially you could be morbidly obese, doing something like this is actually be quite strenuous for you because it's so much more than you're used to, which is fantastic. A great starting point for you to consider. And then you can bump that up slowly by adding small bits of resistance, be that even just a broom to hold, maybe a water bottle, something very small to kind of ease you into additional movement. But that's more applicable to somebody who has come from a very low activity background or somebody who is at a very high body fat percentage. If you are neither of those things, you are going to need more than this to actually see sustainable results. And it's a shame because weight training and resistance training can be really intimidating for a lot of people because it was so heavily demonized for years about that, and because it's going to cause all these problems. And I especially hear this from women that, like I said, they're going to get too big, too bulky, whatever it may be. Trust me, it won't. Honestly, I know you've got no reason to trust me. I'm just a random dude online speaking about women, which you probably find quite weird, but that's explained in the description of my video. Just trust me. And if I'm wrong, then I'll do a backflip, and I can't do those because I'm scared of going backwards. And I simplify it in nearly every video, but honestly, it doesn't need to be that complicated. It actually can be quite simple. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but it can be quite simple, which is if you are looking to lose weight, move more, eat less. You could also consider some resistance training. If you're looking at developing your back from, let's say, the perspective of building muscle, resistance train. Vertical pulling motions, horizontal pulling motions, wide grip, narrow grip. So many different variations you can do. They will all help you develop the fundamental muscles of your back. The rhomboids, the traps, the lats, whatever it may be. Doing these bits and bobs will be really good for you. And I guarantee you this, if you do so with sufficient intensity, keyword there, intensity, training hard, you will see much better results than if you were to do movements like this. Pair that with a calorie deficit, you will eventually lose back fat, not because of the workout, just because you've been in a deficit for a sustained period of time. Eventually it will come off the back. You will have what one would typically deem to be a more toned back, being more defined, because you're going to have more muscle and you're going to be leaner. And if you are concerned about problem areas that have been addressed here, such as the bra bulge and whatever it may be, that will help them. Because again, you're getting leaner and you're developing muscle. Two things that are going to be fantastic for you if it's relevant to your goals. But please do not fall into the trap of watching and believing workouts that are essentially preying and prying on insecurities by feeding misinformation to you, which will ultimately lead to you not seeing the results you were hoping to see, which in turn probably makes it feel like it's your fault, when it's not. It is not your fault that workouts like this did not help you see the results that you thought you would, or the results they potentially promised. It is their fault. Because quite frankly, like I said, there's a lot of misinformation and a lot of these movements are ineffective. That's not on you. That's on the creator of workouts like this. That's not your fault. That is not your problem. You are simply, in my opinion, victim to creators pushing misinformation on you and prying and preying on your insecurities for their own personal gain, which in this case is probably going to be monetary value, because YouTube will pay this individual probably multiple thousands of dollars for that video because of how many views it got, and probably due to the average viewer duration as well. But I'm here to hopefully present some correct information that will in turn guide you on a better path to achieving whatever results you may desire. And like always, if you have any questions, please, I encourage you, drop me a message on Instagram at Harry_TFNL. I'll always reply to my DMs, even if I'm a little bit slow sometimes, but if you have any questions, I'll always do my best to answer. Just like all my videos, this is simply my opinion, and I'd appreciate hearing yours in the comment section below. Thank you for tolerating me. Thank you for tolerating my rant and my ramble, and thank you for tolerating the video.